Hello and welcome back to the Fast Lane. In today's video we are going to be looking at what I did to the Fiesta to get it track ready. Now there were a few things that needed fixing before I could take it on track. However, you've probably seen, or if you haven't seen it, my previous video in what's happened to the Fiesta. So this video is essentially what I was going to upload and what I've been working on. I've still put it together as a video as there's some interesting bits to talk about and you can watch. So watch it along, and if you haven't, check out that video I was talking about in the top right now. So the first issue I need to fix on the Fiesta before I can take it on track is that my gear stick seems to get really sticky when the car's been running for a while. So once it gets hot, the gears just don't want to go in, they're a little bit stiff. Now I did a bit of research, and what I think is the problem is actually to do under the car with the clutch linkage. So coming under the car, there is just this plastic cover that needs to come off so that I can see where the clutch linkages are. So when the gear stick is moved left and right, this part moves, and when you move the gear stick up and down, this part moves. Now the simple solution to fix the problem I'm having is just to lubricate these two moving parts so that it doesn't feel sticky when it gets hot. Now this is a two-person job. Get one person to move the gear stick and the other person spraying the lubricant. But this hopefully will solve my issue. So since doing this, I've been driving it for a little while and the problem has gone away. So I think we solved it. So the next issue that I need to sort on the Fiesta is actually the tracking on the front wheels. Now trust me, this definitely needed correcting. So to get it sorted, I took it down to my local garage.
Camber and caster, I don't believe they can be adjusted on yours. Passenger side, driver's side. Wheels are facing too far like that. These arrows, where your wheels are currently facing, you want them to be sort of as central on this as possible. Yeah. This one here is not even coming out with an arrow, your driver's side wheel, because of how far out it is facing. So currently, as it's
I guess that's just probably when I've changed bits on the suspension.
Suspension and potholes, yeah. Probably because of how far out it is, probably the main suspension work they've been doing.
Yeah.
So
okay.
That's pretty much flat.
Yeah.
Just see the lines. That's nearly chords.
Yeah.
So I'd recommend getting the front tyres sooner rather than later.
Yeah, especially if I'm taking it on track.
Yeah. I mean, we can do it.
Now, while I had it at the garage, I was able to actually have a good look under the car, and one of the issues I've now noticed is that my exhaust, which was only fitted about 2 years ago, is looking crustier than the Titanic. This is definitely an issue that will have to get sorted at some point. I guess this is what happens when you buy cheap, you do get these kind of issues. The issue was the two front wheels had the toe basically pointing in opposite directions, basically driving like a penguin would walk. So we got that sorted, and now you can see that it's gone from red at the top down to green at the bottom. The toe has been all sorted, so that shouldn't cause us any more issues. Right, this brings me on to a next major change that I'm having to do to the car now that I've never done before. It's going to be a bit of a challenge, and so I've asked my mate to come down and help me with this one. What I've got to do is I've got to change the rear axle bushes on the suspension. This should hopefully make the car a bit more solid and not make it wallow when going around corners, which is really important when you take it on track. As always, the YouTube tutorials make this job look so much easier than it actually is. This took me and my friend literally the whole day to get this done. Part of the reason for this is because we don't really know what we're doing, as is always with anything I do on cars. The other reason is because we're working on a driveway, which just makes everything take so much longer. What I would do for a two-post lift when doing stuff like this. But anyway, I even bought a specialist tool to speed up the process. Now this specialist tool is to help remove and put back in the new bushing. Now the problem we were having even with this specialist tool is that the bushing just didn't want to go in straight. It was going at an angle, it was going to get squished, and it was just causing a whole load of problems. So it just took a lot of time and patience to finally get this thing in. I'll just let you enjoy it now as we get the final brackets mounted back on so that we can finally get the wheels on and get this car back on the ground. Now you could clearly tell I was tired by this point, because instead of just rolling the tyre through the gap, which would have been so much easier, I decided to use it like a ballerina and carry it over the car. Yeah, I think it's safe to say that I was pretty mentally exhausted by this point. Just happy to be getting the car back on the ground. To celebrate the victory of actually managing to get this job done, I headed down to KFC to treat myself. Unfortunately, that's where the video ends. Now, the next part I did plan to do in this video was to install this toe strap, which you guys voted on the colour for, onto the car. This is from AirTech. I planned to install this. However, like I said, that previous video kind of shows why I haven't done this. However, I'm going to keep hold of this. Like I mentioned in that video, the plan is to get another Fiesta in the future. The only thing holding me back is I just don't have the money for it. So I need to save some funds. Hopefully, maybe as the YouTube channel grows, maybe I'll get some more funds that way. But until then, the next video coming on the channel is going to be a cool one, looking at what I've done to the TT. But that is it for this video. If you did enjoy, please give it a like and a subscribe and help me get bigger so that we can do bigger and better things on this channel. But that is it. I'll catch you in the next one.